This is your daily market review for Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market review for Tuesday, March 12th, 2024. Interesting day. Bounce back for some names, chop around for some names. Overall, I mean, again, market's kind of weak, but also strong in internals of certain particular stocks. However, going into this week, we know it's choppy OPEX. You know, NVDA has a big conference next week and FOMC. So are we surprised it's going to chop a little bit? No, feels like the top is in. Unless we get some other massive retest, reshoot higher, we'll see. Again, it all really depends on names like NVIDIA. Sadly, because again, like Tesla's, the Apples, the Googles, you know, some of these other names just really are not playing ball. So we'll get into all that. If you have any questions, new to the room, new to the Discord channel, new to anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Always here to help. If you'd like to join, links are in the description below. Also, too, real estate season. Sorry, I've been busy. Got a couple buyers and a couple listings I'm trying to get going. And yeah, I'm a little busy during the day, but want to step up here so I can get you guys this daily market recap. Because again, watching the markets, again, if you have certain positions, define your risk, have your stops. I appreciate you guys holding it down in the Discord room. And again, posting the trades. If you're in the Discord room and not realizing it, again, we used to be able to share them directly from Twitter X, but unfortunately they're not doing that anymore. So if any questions, please reach out. Follow, like, subscribe on YouTube. I appreciate it big time. Also, again, check out all these videos. It's also on my website, thetradingagent.com. Get your recommended reading list. Check out the interactive brokers and also get your 5.5% with Marcus. It's such good deals, such good deals. Again, follow, like, subscribe. Also on the Twitter, whatever letter X, whatever it's called now. And yeah, posting those trades. If you're not familiar, it's all here. And sadly, it's just not popping up on the Discord room. But you can follow all of the trades for free on the tweet. Or, oops, it's like, oh, there's LinkedIn. It's interesting. Look at super microinductor. Okay, let's get into it. Because we know next week they're not expecting anything, right? Expecting a pause. Yawn, pause. More of the same. Bitcoin makes new highs. Again, I just like to hit the refresh button. You're at 70,000. I mean, the volume is huge up here. Are we going to break out? I mean, the CPI data came out stronger today. I mean, technically you have broken out, but are we going to hold it? Because it's now holding around the old highs. You need continuation if you want to see it bullish. Worse, you could chop around. Oils we talked about, chop. Natural gas, so you're not surprised. We talked about it bottoming and then chopping around, dropping some. Again, we talked about KOLD getting up into the upper 140s. You got there today. I mean, it could get even higher if the natural gas pulled back another 10 cents, but trade is solid. Dollar, we talked about holding this 27.70s. So far, so good. TLT, I mean, this is what's got to be hard for the market, right? Bonds, we talked about hitting this trend line, bouncing. Now we look like a flag. And so if you want to be bullish bonds, you need to get over, I don't know, you need to get over 96 and break out. If not, we could go back and chop around. Again, personally, I don't think rates are going to be going much of anywhere anytime soon. And you know, as many people as they want to get excited about the market, you know, or bonds, it's just tough. Inflation is sticky, very sticky. VIX termination week. Man, look at that pop, flop. Vixen, look at this Vixen. Look at that long wick. I don't know how those candles form, but can't see the volume. But anyway, VIVIX, we talked about chopping, holding the range lows. Just be careful. SPY rallied into the close as the day went on. As we've said, you have to close below the 8 and the 10 day. So far, so good. You could continue to ride the channel high. Q's got a nice bounce today. Same thing we said, watch the 20 day. So far, it held. IWM's this continues to lag, which has my eye, but IWM's been lagging for a while. So I wouldn't put endless credence on it, but it's hard to confirm a really strong economy when the IWM looks like crap. DIA, we talked about this one holding the 20 day. So far, so good. I mean, it's just coalescing around it. Gold, not surprised it's pulling back. The CPI comes out. Is it breaking out? We're going to retest. I mean, it's hard to trust. I mean, again, gold is a different beast than the silver and the miners, but the silver and the miners just don't, I don't know. Again, I've said this, the easiest time to buy them when the Feds pivot. So far, it's been a up and down, chop, chop, chop. Holding 26s. Again, as you've seen in the past prior videos, I mean, this stuff can get absolutely rampaged when the market decides to pull back. And I think you're going to get it at some point. It's just how much, how strong, how fast. 10, cuidado. AEM, these names have been holding up pretty well. Again, all these miners, big chop zones, big chop zones. AEM looks stronger than most. AG, I mean, makes sense to me down in the 4s. If we get down there, maybe even the 3s. Newmont, another name we've talked about, like, do you trust it? Rode the channel back down, popping, oversold. I mean, you would think Newmont would be at 60 something minimum going into gold new highs. No, pass, chop it around. So let's get into tech, because I mean, this is where it gets interesting. Like, we talked about holding levels. All right, you're holding. It's interesting where Taiwan Semi is literally holding bounces, but again, it still feels like this is the top. Now, can you get a retest? Everything is possible. Anything is possible. Feels like the top is in, my friends. Micron, same kind of thing. Kind of breaks out, gaps down, chopping around. Keep an eye on it. Good old AMD. We talked about it back testing the trend line today. Look at it. Hit it perfectly. Bounced. Congrats if you took the trade. You could have gone long there. NVIDIA, not surprised. First drop down to the 8-day, found buyers. We got a long ways to go to make two highs. Keep an eye on that. SMCI. Yeah, these names are going to be volatile up here. I mean, this reminds me of the dot-com era where you saw 5-10% moves every day. Every single day within certain names. I mean, it was just makes your head spin. So, holding up so far. Intellectual property. Got a little bid yesterday. Not surprised. Holding the 20-day. Okay, we'll see. SMH. Still think the top is in. Talked about holding this trend line. So far, so good. Just look at that volume. That thing is a beast. Adobe earnings coming out Thursday. Break the 20-day. Get a little squeeze action, maybe up to 590, 600. Keep an eye on it. Apple lagging, as we talked about, however, holding these 168 to 170 level. I mean, just keep an eye on it. Amazon has been holding up better than others, clearly. Holding that 20-day. Meta high like a Jaime Ho. Again, I appreciate Jay Solstice and some of the homies posting trades. Looks like it held the 20-day post-Trump tweets or chats, so keep an eye on it. CRM. This one's just been riding the 8-day, 10-day. Google, we talked about, just been dogging. However, it did hold the 200-day, back testing the channel, the trend line. I'd be watching the 140 plus area. Microsoft, Mr. Softy. Man, this thing is just a choppy, sloppy mess. It's got to get over 415, 417 area. NDAQ, same kind of thing. Retest the high, choppy, lower high, 3-day range. Has to get over 60, 55. If not, that thing's probably going to turn back south for spring. MicroStrategy, we talked about yesterday being a hard candle. Look at that. Fills the gap, rallies back. All right. I mean, you got to get over 1658, so it looks good. Netflix, chopping around. Not much. Roblox, I mean, ever since it hit 47. But it is holding the 100-day, so that's what I'd be watching. The 100-day is very important. Pandemic, we talked about Nancy Pelosi's neck trade. Keep an eye on this, because, again, I've watched the 200-day retest. That's when it gets interesting. Tesla, a dog with fleas. Ruff. I mean, everybody thinks that the future electric cars is Tesla, but guess what? It's priced in, guys. Future you need to be betting on is another technology of theirs. Again, car companies have no margins. Not significant anyway. Keep an eye on that. I mean, I hope it holds for the bulls. Airbnb chopping around like it's breaking out. So far, again, riding the 8-10-day. Got to be careful. Man, Costco. We talked about this getting drilled. Not surprised it finds buyer on the first bounce. I honestly thought it would get maybe a little lower. Didn't, but either way, watch what happens. Hit the 20-day, 740 area. Keep an eye on it. Starbucks broke below its trend line. Now it's chopping around. Market holding up. Not surprised. FedEx said watch what happens up here. Got over the levels. Look at that wick. That is not bullish, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens here. You can't like that after a good move. Caterpillar holding up pretty well, right? 8-day, 10-day, a lot of these names. Nucor, this is, again, breaks out over the old highs in the 189, 88 area. Can't get it back. Letter X, Nothing. I mean, again, I think Nippon Steel purchase isn't going to happen, but that's not surprising. It comes back. Good old VALE. VALE your car. Man, it's just rough. That is just rough. Now, again, it's got X div on it, and it has a solid dividend, so 54 cents. So it's actually only down technically like 7, 8 cents. But you would think these things would be holding up. Arrow, chopping here at the 17s. CCJ, a favorite of a lot of folks. I mean, it's got to hold the 40s, or that's a double top. Good old CF. We like the ag names. Holding up pretty well. Got to give it credit. But when you zoom out, you'll see the big 80s. You know, it's like Harry Nation for Sirius Radio. The big 80s. Watch out for the 80s. Mosaic, we talked about these names. Just nothing. Nothing. Chop, chop, fizz, fizz. What a relief it is. Aaron. I mean, this one's tough because I look at it and I go, I like aluminum long term. I mean, you need aluminum in everything. It's light. I don't know. I just don't trust it. XLF closes at new highs. I mean, this is brutal. But again, if you got the FAS in this 11, 10 range, low 12, I mean, define your risk. That's all I can tell you. Because again, I don't trust the banks at all. JP Mo holding up. Morgan Stanley dogging, of course. With fleas, nothing. Bank of America chopping up against the channel highs. Keep an eye on it because it looks a little better. Goldman Sachs. I mean, this thing is just, I mean, talk about purgatory of endless chop for months. Somebody's got to be loving that action. Someone's selling calls, selling puts, selling calls. Carry. We talked about this one dogging. I mean, again, the junior banks. Junior. Not looking so good. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's just a matter of if, not when, this stuff is painful. I mean, if it touches that trend line, it's tough to know, like, what's the steepness of this descent. I mean, that's really way too steep. But we'll see. You never know. It could move fast and the furious. XBI, again, here you go. We talk about fake breakouts. This is what makes the market so confusing. Because, again, if you don't own, like, 5 or 10 stocks, the market is really confusing. Look at that. Looks like it's going to break out. Comes right back in. Now it's below the 20-day. Keep an eye on it. Solar, you would think this would be ripping. Pops, gives it back. Sedge, gives it back. All right, ENPH, really giving it back here, right? Man, that's candle. If you break 117, look out below. The first Solar. Look at this, right? Nothing. Just chopping. HY Jizzle. There you go. Again, I don't know why anyone and their mom would buy corporate debt at the highs. I mean, you got to be smoking something. All right, oil, gas. Oil looking okay, chopping around. But again, I mean, there's a huge short interest. So whatever happens, I don't think there's like monster downside. We're not going negative futures prices. UNG, we talked about this product getting crapped on. KOLD, we talked about gapping up. So would not be surprised if you, let me just draw the box so people are like, well, you're doing well. Get back up into this area. That would not surprise me at all. If anything, I would hopefully kind of expect it. You know? That's what I'd be keeping an eye on, right? Like, again, if we get up there, that looks good. Looks good for, you know, in my opinion, take a place on it. XOP, you know, think it's going to break out. It is, but it's not really much gusto. Some names better than others. Doji up here, keep an eye on that. ExxonMobil made new highs and then kind of gave it back. You got a multi-day range up at the 109 area. Keep an eye on that. CVE, it's trying to break out. Really need to get over that 18 area to confirm it. Valero, these gas names holding up pretty well. Wow, double top maybe. NPC chopping, broke out of its channel. Got to give it strength. Occidental, we talked about. This is like purgatory going nowhere. Oh, yawner. All right, yeah, another one, EQT. So they're doing a deal. They gap down, chopping around. You know, if you get I'm not saying we get there or not, but man, if you see a 28, 20, keep an eye on that. That would be interesting. Last but not least, oh, sorry, in the Buffett sell zone, did I say this? Yeah, chop. Buffett's got nothing on this. I mean, he doesn't care. He's hoping this thing pins literally forever. And last but not least, Flex LNG. Again, I think natural gas will be exported, will be a primary tool of the United States exporting. So if you have any questions, please reach out. Always here to help. Again, real estate stuff is heating up. meaning there are going to be buyers. There's going to be more listings. If you are putting your trust in someone you don't know for real estate anywhere in the country, I will take offense if you follow this channel. An offense meaning, let me help you out. Let me find you a great agent. You'll get two for the price of one. Because if I'm involved in your transaction, I absolutely care and will be involved walking with you step by step. So you have two agents. And again, you need help. Do not pretend that this is easy. Selling a house is not. Buying a house is not easy. There's 240, maybe 300 processes that you need to go through depending on the state you live in. So let me know how I can help. I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you guys and gals later. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, your PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.